Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I'm going to show you the Charlotte Cameo Rococo die from Tonic. So it's just a single die, but I want to show you how you can do so many different things with it. And I'm going to make 4 different things with it, but I'm sure when you have a look at the way I'm working with it, you'll find lots of different ideas as well. But it's one of the dies that Tonic have in their collection that you can just make a single cut and add it to the front of a card and add it maybe to a set of layering dies or something like that, and it makes a very quick card. Or you can go ahead and use all sorts of different things with it and just incorporate it into different die sets and change it up and make lots of different things as well. If you like getting extra mileage out of your die sets, maybe you'd like to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because that way you'll not miss any of these. And I have generally in my videos I try to show you different ways of using the dies, and that gives you a little bit of extra value for money, I think, and that's always a good thing at the moment. And if you do enjoy it, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment at the end. Anyhow, I am going to pick out some colours for these, and I'll be right back and we'll just start seeing what we can do with it. I've lifted out some coffee cream pearlescent card, and if you don't have an oval die that's exactly the same shape as that, and actually it's quite possible that you don't, because you would be surprised just how many different variations of an oval you can find when you start looking through your dies. And you know how I know? Because I've just hunted through mine to see if there was one exactly the same. But I have laid this on top, just upside down. I've just cut myself a sort of a rough card copy of this that I can use for snipping and drawing and whatever. And on this outside line here, I have just gone with my pencil the whole way around, just up against that outside line. And I've made, well, I have already got it done here, and you can see that I have now got the exact shape of an oval that I need. And I am just going to cut with my scissors on the outside of that edge the whole way around, like so. And this won't matter if it's not exactly perfect, but you want to get it as close as possible. So just keep moving your card and your scissors around and try to keep that edge smooth, and this should work perfectly fine. And there you have it. You turn it over and you won't see any of those, and when you pop that on top there, it should just fit in behind, and there it does. And there you have a lovely oval layering die behind that, or layering die cut. And well, it's not actually a die cut, but it does look like it. So you can go ahead and glue that on, and that's your first way of using that Cameo. I'm going to pop my little ivory one on top, because I think that actually looks very like an actual Cameo necklace or brooch or whatever. If you want to continue that cameo effect even more, you can just turn that over and take an embossing tool or a stylus and go into that center part there and press it down a little, and that will give it a kind of a raised up effect in the front. And then you'll be able to put a 3D foam pad or even some silicone glue from a little syringe in behind that. I usually use the 3D foam pads, and that will hold that up and it'll just be raised, and it'll give another little bit of dimension to it as well. Now I'm going to add this onto a card. So I have gone with the Making Memories with Friends die set. So that's a memory book die set, but obviously we've got layering dies in there, and this makes a beautiful layer for any of the pages or the front cover of your memory book. But I've taken 2 the same size, and because there's no folding part on them, I could actually have just laid the die over the top of a fold in the card and made this all one piece, but I've cut out 2 pieces exactly the same, and I've just folded down here roughly about 1 centimetre in, scored and folded, and glued one on top of the other, and that gives me a lovely little shaped card. And I thought this was a beautiful shape that would match in with the lovely little Cameo set. Then I've taken one size smaller than this and I've cut that out in coffee cream card here, and you can see there already that I have used some double-sided tape on the back of that, because I always think whenever you use glue it leaves a little ripple or a little something showing, and I don't really want that effect, so I always use this on mirror card or whatever. And I'm just going to pop that right down there, and already doesn't that just look gorgeous? It just really tones in really well with that. Next, I've taken this smaller size again. I've actually taken two dies together and made myself this little frame, and although the card is white, I've gone with ivory in the center because I like the white to make this pop, but I like to have the inner part of it sort of attaching and sort of combining and looking well with the die cut that I've made for here. So I've used two together and given myself this little frame. I could just have used one and made it into a layer, but that way I've now got a second piece. I've got the inside of this in ivory that I can use in something else, and I've taken the inside die of that and I've cut out some of this beautiful dusky rose paper, and there it is. And that doesn't really look any different from if I had used a layering die. It's just that I now have this extra die cut from the center of this that I can use on something else. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then I'll attach this on top with my 3D foam pads on there and glue around the outside. Now I've made myself a little ivory bow, and I had intended to put it there, but I actually think it looks much better there. So I'm just going to glue that on there, and that's my first card made. And you know, you could add some glaze on top of this and make it more cameo-ish looking or whatever, and change it up, and obviously you could make that in different colors. I think that would be really, really gorgeous in whites and pale blues as well. For my second card, I've just taken an A6 card blank, and I've cut this out in white, and I've actually, you can see here, I haven't cut the whole thing, because that's another different way that you could use this. You can cut out the Charlotte Cameo itself, and then you can even put something else. I'll just show you here. You could pop something else into the center there. You could have a stamped image, you could have a sentiment, or even a die cut, or a patterned paper, or a topper, or something different in there. So you don't have to keep these two together. And the other way to do that is then to cut this little piece out. So I have just put a piece of card in behind part of that. I haven't even cut the whole thing out. And now I'm just going to use these small scissors to nip out the bottom piece of this. And all I need is the little head and part of the shoulders there. And there we have it. And I'm going to pop out these little pieces here, but I'm just going to leave the hair intact. This time I've also cut out another Rococo die, and this one is called the Delicate Parasol, and it's really, really gorgeous. It's actually beautiful like that, but I just thought I would like to paper piece it, or not actually paper piece it, but it would look a bit like that. I'm going to lay it on top of here and then just trim around the outside. So I'm going to glue the top part of the umbrella or parasol just onto a piece of this beautiful patterned paper, and then I'm going to use this parasol along with the little face that I've cut out from the Charlotte Cameo as well. taken a piece of 8 centimeters by 13 centimeters of the beautiful dusky rose paper, and I've put that on top of some burnished rose card here, and it's 8.5 by 13.5 centimeters, and I'm going to put that on there and have a lovely sort of biggish white border around the card there. So just check that the card's the right way up, because sometimes I put it on and then the fold is over at this side or whatever. Always check that before you glue anything down. And that's going to go there. And then I've taken a little oval from this set here. So this is one of the Loaded Pockets oval embroidery hoop die set. And I've taken that, and that's going to go right on top there. Again, with just a piece of, that doesn't apply to this at all. That was a piece that I had cut before. And I didn't want to waste anything. As you know, I don't do that. So that's going to go right in the center of this. There we are. And then I'll glue this onto here. Now you can see I'm using glue this time. It doesn't matter whenever the outside of the polished card or the mirror card isn't showing. This is going on right in behind where the paper would be. So I'm quite happy with that. And there we are. Now I've got the umbrella and I've got the parasol, and there it is with the patterned paper in behind, and I've got some 3D foam pads on that, and you can see it's just a little long for this thing that I'm making it with, I think, because the face is so tiny there. I don't want the full length of the handle and everything on there, but I want this to come over the white card to pop a little bit, and I want 3D foam pads on that, but I'm going to have glue here. So let's just see how that will look. Yes, there we are. I've taken the Someone Special die and the background die, and these are both from the Selection of Sentiments die set. That's this one, and I've backed one onto the other in matching colours here, and I'm just going to pop that on over there, just covering a little bit of the bottom of that oval, and there you have it. So lovely layering, lovely script that matches in with this, and just another way to use your die. Isn't that pretty? This next one is just a really easy way to use this. This again is from the Loaded Pocket embroidery hoop oval set, and I've taken some Italian rose card. It's really shiny, so I'm trying to cover it up there, and I have die cut the largest shape in that out with the lovely little hoop and thing at the top of it there. I've also cut it out in white and backed it onto the back just to make it more sturdy, and now I am going to, I'll turn that over in the meantime, I'm going to glue the smaller oval directly on top of that, and that sort of breaks up where I have die cut the next part. So that goes right on there, and then I've cut the Cameo piece out again. Again, I'm leaving these pieces in the hair. You can take those out if you like, if that's the kind of look you like, but I kind of like them in there at times. And I'm just going to put glue all around there, and I've made myself a lovely tag. Now I love this just the way it is, and that could be a gift tag, and that's actually how I am going to leave it. You can see now that that's not exactly the same oval, but it works very well with it. It's really hard to get this exact same oval, so don't worry about that, but I think that sort of mirrors that really well. That would be really beautiful on a card as well. You can just imagine if you had that on there, maybe something else, some patterned paper or something in behind it, or even some just embossed card would be gorgeous. But I'm just going to leave it as a little tag and pop a piece of the white ribbon in the top there, and there you have it. For my fourth and last, I have cut the little face out again in some black mirror card, and then this time I've gone to the Shopping the High Street die set, and this made a beautiful spinning box, but there's some absolutely gorgeous dies in there that you could use for lots of other things as well. And I've cut that out in black mirror card, and I have put some other mirror card in behind that, and that is burnished rose, I think, in there, and that is going to go on here on my white card, and the little lady will be sort of looking out the window. So I have taken some beautiful satin card here, and then a piece of white on top of that, and I'm going to glue those together and onto the card. And then I'm going to add this on here, and the little face just in behind there is a very, very easy card to put together. And if you wanted, you could just put 3D foam pads. In fact, I might do that. 3D foam pads just in there and lift these edges up just a little. I've taken some of the ivy from the same die set, that's the Shopping the High Street, and that is in some, that's different black card, so it's not the same mirror, it's a satin effect one, pearlized, sorry. And I'm going to put that on there, and then the smaller piece on here. And then just to break up that white a little, I've taken some of the brick effect from the same die set, and I'm going to just put pieces on here. So I'm actually going to glue those onto the white card and then snip them off before I add any of this together. So the white panel will be made first, and I might take out some pieces of the bricks and leave other areas in, but I'm just going to build that up and go ahead and add it onto the card. So first of all, I am going to add a few 3D foam pads just down the outside edge of this here, just the little tiny pads, and then glue this onto this panel. There you are. I thought that needed a little balance with the ivy there, so I added some down at the bottom as well. And another way to use that, and I really, really love it. I actually really enjoy the challenge of just having one die and then going through lots of other sets that I've got and seeing what I can do with it and seeing all the different ways you can use it. So there you are. I hope you've enjoyed that. There are my four. I was going to say 4 cards, but that one's not actually a card, but that's the 4 things that I have made with the die set, and they're really, really pretty. It's a really, really pretty little face on it. And as I say, I'm sure that will spark your imagination, and you could think of lots of other ideas as well. If you have other ideas, let me know down in the comments, because I always love to hear that as well. I'm sure lots of you think of things that I never think of, so I really would like to hear what's going on there too. Thank you very, very much. My affiliate links for this little die will be down in the description of the video as well. Thank you very, very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that, and leave me a little comment, give me a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can see plenty more videos like this, if you enjoy it, of course, that is. But thanks for your company once again, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.